Hello everyone, watch this review here where they look at the Batman Legacy Catman. Now although you see Catman pop up a lot as a parody of Batman and, just various satirical works and everything and, references just for character likeness reasons, he's actually a real character as well within the DC universe. I imagine people might be more familiar with him from his Secret Six run, but he actually started off as a Batman villain who sort of fell by the wayside, as so many of Batman's gimmick villains do. I suspect in no small part due to the fact that Catwoman rocked the same theme, except for, she was a lot more popular. Of course, we know why. Now, although I've never really seen much of this character, because most of his stuff has been limited to comics and everything, I do kind of like him just because of his whole connection to the Secret Six and stuff, and, villain teams are really neat. That said, let's just quickly take another look at the packaging here. This is the first Batman Legacy figure I've reviewed, or will be reviewing, so I do really like the packaging and everything. The only sort of downside of the line is the fact that, it's the same price as the DC Universe Classics, but no collect and connect piece. Unfortunately, it's something that's going to be becoming a trend going forward, though, so can't really fault it all that much. Just really interesting box design otherwise, and apparently it comes with a comic book poster cover thingy. Hold on a second, I'll get him out back. One of the more interesting aspects of the packaging is that the card here is actually double-sided, and in reverse we get all these different Batman logos, which is pretty cool. I mean, definitely, it's going the extra step and stuff, although debatably I'm not sure how useful that is. Just a better look at the little clip here, which is the same as the poster that he comes with. Speaking of accessories, he comes with his two cat claws here, which were really bent out of package, and the odd thing too is the fact that they're sort of in different positions, like this one's curved towards the front, open towards the back, the other one, although I guess this might just be due to the rubber band, is sort of curved in towards the back and more open towards the front. Don't really understand that, and I'll have to check to see how that's actually meant to be displayed. And of course he comes with a stand for base and the poster, or mini poster. The color on that's really weird and everything. I'm actually not sure what the deal is. As an accessory, the poster definitely sucks, but I guess it's better than nothing. Other people have pointed out that, a whole issue of a reprint of a comic would have been a much nicer touch, and I also wish that they had gone that route. As for the figure itself, now mine was bent in pack. I didn't notice that the elbow was sort of messed up. I'm not sure if it's just due to the way he was packaged or whatever, but nah. Otherwise, sort of the standard body for parts of it, but he gets a unique looking cape here. You'll notice that, unlike a lot of other characters, he actually has these little armbands and stuff on his cape, which is probably a bit more practical than just having it tie around your neck, so I imagine it's something of a noose for when you have a long fall or anything. This way, it more evenly distributes the weight. Then of course the gloves here and boots are original sculpts, especially this portion down here where it's got a kind of odd shape to it. And he's got his little utility belt and stuff. So, a lot of Batman robes were somehow like direct foils for Batman at some point or another. Like this one, he's a millionaire hunter who gets bored and decides he wants to become a supervillain. It happens. Not all that often. Now, one of the neater aspects of the character is just the fact he's got these little etchings and stuff in his face for little, what's it called, 5 o'clock shadow or whatever? I don't know. Which, is a sort of cool touch and everything, which will help him stand apart from the other sort of kind of generic looking heroes and villains on your shelf. And for the very last part of the review, I thought I would shoot it on the old PS3 Slim until iCrate randomly craps out on me, but one of the things I didn't previously mention is on the inner side of the card we have this cool, probably like a little Gotham display. Very neat looking cityscape. You always have to appreciate those tiny extra touches instead of just leaving a blank space there. One more thing, just because, he's a Batman rogue that greatly resembles the man himself, I figured I might as well just bring in a Batman for comparison purposes, but which Batman do you bring in? I mean, most of us have like 5 or 10 of them at this point. I decided to go with the Detective Batman, the first version released in the DC Universe Classics line. And you can just see how similar the designs are. Almost laughably so. I mean, they really didn't exercise a ton of creativity back then. Just in terms of your hero and villain designs and all that. You've got like the gloves and everything, those crazy high boots. The underpants on the outside, your logo featured prominently on the chest. Cape that goes around the shoulders and stuff, as opposed to Superman's, which just kind of connects up to the shoulders. Then you have their cowls with the little pointy ears. Sort of a cool comparison. Now the big things again that kind of differentiate this character is just the fact he's got different boots here with this weird upward incline. Really not sure what's up with that. I mean, I guess it does make for, kind of okay crouching poses and stuff, because, the DC Universe Classics line has never had toe joints, and this gives you a little bit of extra leverage if you want to pose the character kind of walking at an angle and stuff, and have it look sort of natural. The only downside is when it's just standing up straight, it looks kind of funky. Somewhat. Can't see it as much, but I mean, there's definitely a little up here, as opposed to the usual, which is more flat. The other, key differentiation, again, is just the fact that he has his little shoulder straps here for the cape. I mean, other than that, kind of really standard looking design and everything, right down to the body. I believe it's probably cycled as well, 100%. I don't know where it comes from. It's also center. It's going in first unless it's dissolve center. The buckle underneath the sign is just off. Probably separate though, so I could slide it around with salty. I'm not doing that right now. But and for those of you who still wonder what that glitch actually looks like, that's basically it. It sort of randomly starts up the recording, and makes the footage generally unusable. But the portion that you sort of missed, unless you heard part of it, it's just the fact that the belt buckle on mine is off-center for some reason, which I think is something I can probably just fix. I just haven't managed to do that yet. I didn't notice it in stores either, which kind of is weird, because I'm usually pretty quick at picking up on that, but I think I was probably more focused on the other more significant, the more significant errors with the figure. Unless it was something that slid out when I was just messing around with it, because it's actually like 2 separate sections, like many of the belts. Where you have this other piece here. I don't think it's actually a rubber band that goes around. I think it's just a separate piece of plastic wedged between the torso and lower torso. Which, is kind of different from these, which I think were just molded straight on. Yeah, there's like no give on his belt at all. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a neat feature that you can actually adjust the belt if you so want. But at the same time, it also mildly annoys me. Other articulation besides belt articulation. We have a point of rotation here at the wrist. You'll notice that the hands do open. It's a softer plastic, so we can actually grip his weapon things here. Again, not sure how he actually carries these. Might actually be the opposite direction. So he like holds it like that, and then blades are flipped on the other side. Something I need to look into. It's kind of weird though if he did do it like that. Yeah, whatever. But you've seen it both ways. And of course they're just kind of a pain to get in now because you end up bending the plastic unless you somehow manage to get the hand open. Single point here at the elbow. Rotation at bicep. Usual ball jointed shoulder with full range of motion and all that. Head rotates, mine are up and down like usual. The cape and cloak can just move around a little bit. I do count that sort of as a range of posability, just because it can sort of stay more towards one side versus the other. I don't usually point that out with the other ones, but with this it actually looks okay when it's doing it. The other ones it looks kind of funky. We have an ab crunch, we have the waist joint here, and the belt joint there, or whatever that is. Leg, usual range, then you have the thigh, knee, and then the little point here at the ankle. And apparently there's a tiny chip of plastic here as well. And I'll have to use the other clippers to get that off, or that's most of the way off. But yeah, just kind of really shoddy quality control of this stuff. All in all, you know, Catman's kind of a cool addition to my collection, and you know, could be a cool addition to your collection as well, should you decide to pick him up. Supposedly, I just looked this up a little while ago, but he did make some cartoon appearances. Apparently, he was in some of the Brave and the Bold episodes. I still haven't caught up on that series. I watched some of it, but I mean, honestly, it doesn't so much appeal to me, other than the random cameos and the Action League figures that they did for it, which are kind of neatish. I know I didn't like that style at first, but since grown on me. But yeah, this has been a look at Catman from the Batman Legacy line. The first of the Legacy figures that I picked up so far. You know, they will be coming out with a lot of cooler stuff in the future, including a classic or vintage Catwoman. You know, where she's got like the purple outfit and stuff with the dress. As well as a Silver Age Penguin, which I'm really excited for, and you know, all sorts of other goodies, including the Arkham City and stuff lines also incorporated into it. But yeah, until next time, folks.